Last time on Square Roots, we work through some issues of mental health with Roche, confront mortality with the Legion of the Dead, and try to save a marriage in trouble. They don't call them the Deep Roads for nothing.
Wasn't his name Ruck?
Whatever!
Hello and welcome to Square Roots, the classic RPG podcast. I am your host, Matthew Van Zant, and I'm joined, as always, by my BFF, John Ruck Brandon.
Why, hello there, best friend Matthew.
Hey, buddy. And Vanessa.
I'm Vanessa.
And Jim, I guess.
Yeah, I'm here too.
Yay!
Such affection.
Our long national nightmare is over. I think I've used that line before when Jim took a break, but, you know, it remains
works.
true.
Guys, do you know what episode this is?
Yes?
146.
No.
Nope.
131.
No.
7.
No.
Jim,
This
no.
is episode 200!
That's not
No,
true.
it isn't.
Oh,
No.
so what
one-
episode is it?
150.
150!
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you say that? How do you say that in number terms? Isn't it sesquiz something?
The-
No.
By
sesquicentennial. Sesqui plus 50 centennial?
Centennial.
What does sesqua mean?
What? Technically, like if it's 150th anniversary, it's sesquicentennial, right?
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's when the Sasquatch comes and does a guest bit on your podcast. Take it away.
Hey
Sasquatch.
guys, I love your podcast.
What's the traditional gift for your 150th anniversary?
Sasquatch
A box of hair.
I think it's a bathtub full of the blood of youths.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard it has
rejuvenate your
healing
love.
properties.
Mm-hmm. Just ask Peter
Well-
Thiel. Thiel?
I don't feel like box of hair is really fair because I have the most to give and the least to receive between the three of you.
Vanessa,
Mm-hmm.
I have plenty of hair I could give you.
Oh, no!
Ooh. So I'm excited to be able to say that our podcast is officially, like 100.5 years old, episodes old, instead
Yeah,
of...
years might be an exaggeration.
I don't even know how long we've been doing this show anymore. 150 sure sounds like a long time.
It's almost, I mean, if you think about it as an episode a week, that's
Almost 3 years.
Nearly 3 years, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
156 would be 3 years.
Which is coming up in
So
a
maybe
month.
our celebration is premature.
Oh, but that's okay. It can still live.
Yeah, but...
Time for the pre-party to start. This is like the beginning of Chinese New Year. Where we just keep it going.
That's a great idea.
Hey, Jim.
Hmm.
What do we do on this podcast?
Well, we play and talk about classic RPGs.
Like what?
One
Like
chonker at a time.
why do I forget that part anymore? One chonkerino at a time.
Chonkerino.
Let's see, RPGs like Dragon Quest,
Final
and
Fantasy.
PUBG.
Super Mario
Yep.
RPG.
I'm very disappointed that it won't be a RPG like Xenogears next time, but we'll get more into that later, I guess.
Yeah.
Which Dragon
guys,
Age?
So we're talking about Dragon Age today. Excuse me, I almost said Dragon Quest. We're talking about Dragon Age.
Dragon
Origins
Age,
today.
Origins.
I wish it was called Dragon
Colon
Age
Origins. We're gonna cover the Ashes of Andraste quest today, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And some Denerim happenings.
Gonna meet Alistair's sister.
I didn't.
That too.
Well,
Oh.
I brought Alistair around, and we're just like circling in front of her house, but nothing happened. I see we're all at high energy levels today, but I feel like we could really spike our energy levels with a level up. But before we do, I just wanted to mention, hey, we have a Patreon. And at the $3 level, you could hear about us doing some extra stuff, like playing Spider-Man.
Turn off the dark.
No, I wish.
Oh.
I
what
wish.
brought about this random plug at the beginning of the show?
Well, didn't you say that we should be doing one at the beginning of the show, too?
I feel like I
Keep
said
it at
that
the top.
10 years ago.
Now everybody knows about it. Wait for the patrons to skyrocket.
Yeah, that's a good point. People probably turn it off when we're done
Yep.
talking about the game.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
So, and at the $5 level, you get to vote on what game is next. And our votes are in. The results clear. Our next game, Matthew, what is it?
You know what? Listeners, if you want to know what the next game is, you're going to have to wait until the end of the show. I think we should make them wait, John.
Oh.
Whoa. Let's just say that I was really afraid it was going to be Xenogears. I was like, Jesus Christ.
I mean, excited, right? I was very excited. It was going. There's mechs in that game.
I really
hate a
pushed for
mech.
Tales of Vesperia, and it did not get the votes.
It's like 90 hours long, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but so's this game.
The only game I want to play for this show is Infinite Undiscovery, and you guys always shoot
We
me
didn't
down
even put that
every
in
time.
in the vote last time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But I feel like we might be able to each one of us pick a game this year, so who knows? I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on how long all these games we're doing are, because I think the game that won is another longo.
Yeah, I don't think we expected to still be doing I didn't expect to still be doing Dragon Age come March, but it appears that we will be.
Well, we were halfway through January. Anyway, maybe someone should. Who wants to level up first?
Yeah, like, hey, guys, let's move on to the first segment of the show.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, the one where we level up.
Mm.
John,
Okay.
Oh,
why don't you go ahead and get us started, buddy?
I watched another. Now that we're at peak TV, all this prestige TV is just popping out all over the place. You can't even you can't watch all these prestige TVs. There's too many prestige TVs.
It's too many.
But there is a lady. She has a show called Russian Doll. And
Russian Doll.
This lady is Natasha Lyonne, and apparently
She has crazy curly red hair.
her character in Russian Doll is just like her in real life, and she's a mess. And great. Although she does seem to do a big pile of drugs all the time, which isn't something I can relate to as someone who doesn't do drugs. Because I'm a straight... Is the word straight edge? I don't like that word. Yeah, let's...
That's the word, like a razor.
Well, except that
Like
I
a
drink,
straight
so I'm
edge
not straight
razor.
edge, but I don't drink very often.
You have like one beer
Anyway,
a month.
so this is Prestige TV about this trash-talking video game programmer, software developer, and she can like look at code and be like, "Oh, that's what's wrong. See, now this guy animates well. I don't play video games though because they're stupid." Except that like her life is full of continues. Because she keeps dying over and over like in a video game, and she just keeps continuing from the last autosave point, and she's getting real confused about it.
That's
Oh,
weird.
interesting.
And she keeps dying the same way like over and over because she forgets about it. It's really funny. Very well written, very sharp. She's kind of an anti-hero in that she's not super likable, but she's likable. I mean, she does try to save the cat, which is a thing. You know, to make a
Oh, kitty.
character likable. And Natasha Lyonne is seriously fantastic. Like, she's great in it. And I know from How Did This Get Made that that's how she talks in real life, like a New York cabbie from a movie in the 70s is how she talks in real life. And it's pretty funny.
How can I access this show?
It's on Netflix.
There was a thing on Twitter recently that people were very excited about the way she pronounces the word cockroaches.
Cockroach.
Which is cockroach.
Cockroach. Yeah, I've never heard anyone add an A to cockroach before. So that's interesting. Yeah. Matthew,
I mean, that's like how a child would say it.
Cockroach. Matthew, speaking
Yes.
of children, how did you level up?
It sounds like how Scarface would say it.
I leveled up my Dragon Prince watching skills. Dragon Prince Season 2 came out, and it was wonderful. It's on Netflix, and if you watched the first season and you liked it, you should watch the second season. And if you watched the first season and didn't like it, you should watch the second season. And if you didn't watch the first season, you should watch the first season and then watch the second season. Questions? Anybody? Jim, I see your hand up.
I have a question. You referred to that as a skill?
Guys, you should check out the Dragon Prince. It's super good. None of you watched it, I think. It's delightful.
I felt like I got such a compelling and strong impression from you when you talked about season 1 that I didn't need to watch it myself because you painted such a word picture.
Probably. That is probably true. But now would be a good opportunity to go see it for yourself. Anyway, that's about it. I'm still playing Dead Cells, and I really like it. Here's a funny fact. Dead Cells... What an asshole. Dead Cells is, much like the game Hollow Knight, very derivative of the Dark Souls Bloodborne games. And that is something about Hollow Knight that I really didn't like and really turned me off. And it's something about Dead Cells that I really love. So, explain that.
No.
Maybe it plays better.
Dead Cells has that one more run thing where you just want to run through it one more time. It's a roguelike, so it's like a Castlevania game. You restart every time you die at the same spot, but then it's also, the levels are procedurally generated, so even though you progress through the same levels, they're differently arranged each time with different stuff in them, different weapons and buffs and powers and all that stuff. So every single time is kind of a different experience. And you don't last too long. I mean, particularly when I first started, my matches were, my runs were 2 to 5 minutes. And now I go like a half hour. It's a lot of fun. And that's it for me. Vanessa.
Yeah?
How did you level up?
Oh, I've been listening to podcasts. Podcasts. You might be familiar with the medium. It's where people talk about a thing into your ear holes. And I'm on a real sort of long-form journalism kick. You know, those podcasts that have like 6 or 7 episodes, and they tell you a story, and it's just fantastic.
I love that.
It's the best, and it's all journalistic. So I have 3 that I have listened to recently. Number 1, The Dream. The Dream is about multi-level marketing. You know, like when you go on your Facebook and you see your Facebook friend and they're like, oh my God, I love this makeup and I'm having a party for this makeup where you can come and learn about this makeup and then buy it from
Vanessa
me.
doesn't know is she talked about The Dream last episode.
Oh, I've also listened to a podcast called The Dropout.
I'm listening to that too. I love it.
It's great. It's about Elizabeth Holmes, who was the CEO of a company called Theremin, which
Theranos.
Theranos. Theremin is an instrument. Theranos is the company that made all these promises about this new technology, and everyone was like, oh my God, she's the next Steve Jobs. And spoiler alert, she ain't. So it's really good listen. It's a sort of fascinating look at her as a person, but also the people who got involved in this company and their reasons for investing so heavily in it. I believe at its peak, it was valued at about $4 billion.
It was $9 billion.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
And now,
to the point where her company had a valuation of $9 billion.
yeah, that's insane. Because guess what it's valued at now, Jim?
Nothing?
$0.
$0.
Is that because it got shut down?
Yes.
Yeah. But there's good reasons for it being shut down. It was
they put
essentially
people in danger.
Yeah, it was essentially a big fraud.
They put people in danger.
They did,
Yeah,
though.
her technology was, she's like, I have this device that can run like 200 blood tests simultaneously off of like 2 drops of your blood.
Mm-hmm.
But it
Guess
never
how
worked.
many it could run? 0.
0.
What?
Yeah, and she actually got this like device into a whole bunch of Walgreens, and people were taking her blood tests and making medical decisions based on them, but they were wildly inaccurate.
Oh, wow.
So they talked to people who, this one guy tested positive for like pre-diabetes and was going to go on all this medication, and then got tested somewhere else, and he was not at all. And one woman who was a cancer survivor got tested, and it showed spiked estrogen levels, like insanely spiked, and she thought the cancer had come back, but turns out her estrogen level was really low.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so those are just a couple examples. So not only did she defraud people of money, but she really seriously endangered people's health, and I'm sure as more stories come out, we'll learn about people who actually did make medical decisions based on her blood tests.
She's also a really interesting person in that when she speaks publicly, she adopts this fake baritone when she speaks to seem more authoritative.
And she always wears a black turtleneck like Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
Carrie Poppy was doing that at the beginning of the last Oh No, Ross and Carrie. I didn't know what she was making fun of. She said it was a scam lady, and so that's why she was talking.
Yes, this is the scam lady.
Yeah.
You should hear her, when you listen to her speak, it's obvious that it's fake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then there's clips online of her breaking her and adopting her real voice. It's insane.
It's really weird. And then all of these sort of high-powered former Republican heads of state and senators and things like that got involved too. So there's this weird political element as well.
That's crazy.
It's bananas. And my final recommendation, if you like fraud ladies, The Gateway, Teal Swan.
Ooh, I also know about her from Oh No, Ross and Carrie.
Oh, wonderful. So this is a investigation into this woman, Teal Swan, who is sort of a new age guru. And Teal Swan says that she can look into people's bodies and see how their systems are functioning, and then look at them on a genetic level. She can access all the knowledge in the universe, every thought that was ever thought. And she can skim through these thoughts and just knows everything. She can see auras and entities, and she is especially skilled at helping people uncover suppressed memories of the satanic ritual abuse they suffered as children.
That sounds pretty fake.
You would think so? But, maybe give it a listen and decide for yourself. Oh, the other thing she does is she does kind of tell people to kill themselves, and sometimes they do.
Oh.
Wait, what is this podcast called?
The Gateway?
It's called The Gateway, Teal Swan.
Ooh, I want to listen to this one.
Yeah, definitely put it on your queue.
I might have to give some of these a shot myself. I actually have been kind of bored.
Yeah, I haven't listened to the first one Vanessa talked about, but the Theranos one is super interesting.
I tend to walk about like a mile or two during the work week because I like to commute myself by my feet.
Mm-hmm.
And it's perfect to have to listen to during walks because, you know, it's stimulating and you learn something too.
Mm-hmm. Say ho if you've got your funky bus fare. Ho! Ho!
Who's left?
Jim.
Jim, how did you level up?
I did a couple things. I went to a concert. I went and saw a band called the Kooks. play.
Kooky.
They are a indie rock band who's been around for like, I don't know, 10, 15 years. They're really
What
good,
is
and
their
they
big
played
hit?
all the songs I wanted them to play. Excuse me?
What songs?
They opened with a song called Always Where I Need to Be, which is a good song.
Mm-hmm.
They played a good song called Sweet Emotion, which is not a cover of the Aerosmith song, thankfully.
Oh.
And they have a good song called All the Time, which is very good.
Are they the ones who did Dreaming of You, or did I make that up?
I don't know. Maybe. Look them up on Spotify and find out.
Maybe
Also,
I will.
I've been playing a game called Apex Legends,
Ooh.
which is a free to play. What do they call those games?
Free to play.
The battle royale.
Yeah, it's a battle
Royale.
royale.
Free to play squad based battle royale. And it is fun as heck.
I like Pathfinder because he's a fun robot with a happy face.
And he says that he has the funniest lines too.
Yeah.
And I've been playing a lot as Bloodhound, who's like a tracker man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Bloodhound's the like non-binary one with the mask, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Does he come with a gang?
No, thankfully.
Does he set roofs on fire?
And yesterday I was playing and I got kill leader and champion.
What?
Have
Have you gotten any wins?
Yeah, and my squad won.
Is that champion
that?
is when you win?
Yeah, and champion is when I think you get like the final kill, maybe.
Oh yeah.
Because I only got one kill and I was champion.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
but yeah, it's a really fun game.
I'm breaking into his level up for an important update.
Yes.
It was the Corals who did Dreaming of You.
Oh, not
Thank
the
you very
Kooks.
much. Goodbye.
Bye.
Not the Kooks.
And for individual square roots, Allison, I too am very disappointed Matthew was not referencing the Bloodhound Gang PBS show. Back to Jim's level up.
What the fuck?
There was a Bloodhound Gang PBS show?
Yes, that's where they
Who
got
let
their
those
name
guys
from.
on PBS? Oh, that's interesting. Anyways, everyone should play Apex Legends if you're into battle royale stuff. I wish they'd get a new map because I feel like I'm just kind of running over the same places over and over again.
Yeah, the map's a
But-
little small, and I do like the verticality of it, but it's different than other battle royales that I've played. But yeah, it does feel
Also,
like...
I like that your characters don't take any fall damage.
Yeah.
So you can jump from anywhere and your characters will be fine, which is such a relief.
Yeah. Especially after
And
PUBG.
it makes it really fun jumping down mountainsides and shit.
In PUBG, you can
Yeah,
fall
and
10
they're-
feet and then you die.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the characters are really good about climbing stuff. Like you can climb walls and the sides of buildings and things pretty easily. It's really fun. And all the character powers are really neat. Like Bloodhound can see if there are enemies around using his little tracker thing, and the robot guy has a zip line that he can use, and Wraith can like teleport from one place to another. It's a really fun game. And that's it for my level up.
Do, do, do.
Time
Dun, dun,
for the quest
Dun,
log.
dun, dun. Quest log.
The quest
Dun, dun,
log!
Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Quest log.
Are we You guys ready to talk about Dragon Age? Did we mention what part we're on? Is this part 7?
Yeah, well,
We're starting in Denerim. Yeah, part 7.
So,
quest log.
So there's a lot going on in Denerim.
I didn't
Yeah,
do
it's a
lot.
major
Denerim.
I
metropolis.
very much was like,
Mm-hmm.
fuck y'all. All these like quest
I did-
icons, I was just kind of like, I don't want to help any of you. Does anybody else feel like all of the loot and stuff in this game kind of blows? Like, it all sucks.
What
Yeah,
are you
it's never
talking
as
about?
good as the stuff I already have.
Yeah.
And if it has a name, I usually at least check it out.
Yeah, me too.
But if it's like
I've-
heavy chainmail, dwarven heavy chainmail, I'm like, I'm just gonna sell this.
I find myself junking a lot of stuff. I should probably sell it, but I find myself junking it.
Well,
Yeah,
there's a dwarf in the marketplace who sells a backpack here, and I
Is there?
was correct. At the Circle Tower, the quartermaster there sells a backpack as well.
Nice.
Get those backpacks, and then go to the Grey Warden's castle so you can get your storage box for anything you don't want to get rid of.
Wait, what?
Oh, that you don't, Jim. It's DLC.
Oh, that's some bullshit.
Jim can't do it. Ha 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 ha. All right, well, why don't we talk about some of the dumb quests that we ran into in Denerim? And I want to
Let's
talk
talk
about
about this dumb game
Alistair
with its
and his
dumb
dumb
quest.
sister. But
The first people I met in Denerim are these chantry ladies, and Sister Theohild and Mother Perpetua are pretty fun because Sister Theohild is distracted by being really hungry, I think, and maybe not super studied chantry texts that well.
Yeah. She's fantastic.
Yep.
Let the maker be your bacon to the light.
Andraste's bread be with you. It's a lot of fun. She just likes misquoting. Maybe she's doing it on purpose to annoy Mother Perpetua.
Yeah, there's some implication that she's doing it on purpose to mess with this other sister.
There's also Sister Justine, who gives you some quests and stuff, and I totally forgot to talk to her.
Oh, no. I talked to her and she didn't really give me... Well, she talked about how she's looking for holy artifacts, and there are a whole bunch of people who are selling knockoffs all around.
Ooh. But she does let you know that she thinks that the urn Brother Genitivi is after is probably real.
Yes. I ran into a guy named Slim. Did you guys see this guy?
No.
I think that you have to be a thief or a rogue to run into Slim. Slim, has heard of me. He's like, "What's up? I hear you're a real sneak thief kind of thief. It's totally cool. I am too. I don't judge. Also, I hate Arl Howell. I bet you hate Arl Howell too. I heard he killed your whole family. So let's get into some sneak thieves."
That sounds fun.
Yeah, so he first he asked me, "Are you like a cut purse kind of pickpocket thief, or are you a stealthy thief?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm a stealthy thief. I don't go around picking people's pockets." And that's true. I haven't put any skills into pocket picking. So he told me first about a room in the inn I could break into where this woman who is very intimate with Arl Howell has been staying. And said, just to avoid her lazy guard and the tavern staff and break on in there and steal all her stuff. So I'm like, sweet, I'll do it. And I did. Then I got back to him and he said, "Oh, okay, so there's this warehouse where Arl Howell has been storing the loot that he skims off of people. Usually I'm not for killing, but it's full of his stupid men, so just go in there and kill them all and take his silver." So I went and killed them all, and I got 6 bars of silver to sell. And then he's like, "Okay, I don't have anything else for you right now, but come back later when you have," essentially he said, "when you have access to the Palace District, come back and we'll do something real big."
When you have reached chapter 5 of the game Dragon
Yep,
Age
yep.
Origins.
Yep. I mean, he said it a little bit more eloquently. He's like, I'm really working on getting this plan together, but it's not ready yet. And it will be in the Palace District, which you cannot access right now because the guards have closed it off.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited to see what my new best friend Slim has in store.
There's Sergeant Kylon. He gives you first he's complaining and thinks you're just there to complain, but when you say you want to help, he's like, oh, there's some jerks at the Pearl. Could you get them to leave? And if you try to fight them, don't fight them with weapons or magic. Just be like gentle, push them around a little bit. And also, is this the first gay couple in a game we've played? Wade and Heron? Trying to think.
Is it? That can't be true. There must have been a couple in Mass Effect somewhere.
Not in the first one, I don't think.
Oh, golly.
Yeah. There's Wade and Heron, a gay couple that are... They both sound like Peter Lorre, so the level of representation is... it's not perfect, but it's...
Yeah, it's not the best.
Oh, Wade, you're always complaining. Heron,
They're talking to me again. Heron. Heron, I'm just trying to work.
And Wade has a sexy mustache and little beard, and Heron looks like Alistair. Gay Alistair. With the early 2000s.
Alistair?
Up at the front haircut, the tang-tang.
Yeah. Heron's the twink, and Wade is the burly blacksmith.
And they have a armor. It's 125 sovereigns, so it's a little expensive, but it has the best healing of any armor I've seen. So I really want to get that armor. And
what are your guys' money making strategies in this game?
Sell.
See, I haven't been doing that very well.
And you get all this stuff like topaz and fluorospar and quartz, and you get stuff like fancy vases and wolf pelts, and those things don't have any use except to sell. And I also sell all the crystals I get for Shale because Shale, I already have the best crystals for Shale, so don't need to keep those around. Once you have the large and small clear ones of whatever element you like, you just sell any flawed ones you get, and those will rack you up money pretty fast. And I sell all the non-name brand chainmails and stuff.
Non-name brand, they're not named armors, right?
Yeah, exactly.
John only wears couture.
Exactly. I'm not going to wear off-the-shelf separates. Or off the rack.
Off the rack.
Off the rack separates. I got
off the armor stand separates.
That's right.
And I guess we can talk about. Well, did you go to the Pearl, John?
Oh, I did.
Please tell about that.
Jim, did you go to the Pearl?
Explain it, and I'll tell you if I did or not.
The Pearl
it's been a few weeks since I played this
is
part.
The sexy brothel run by Sangha.
Oh, I did. This is weird.
Yeah, because so basically, Sergeant Cylon was like, "Go to the Pearl." He's not a Cylon. He's Kylon. Anyway,
he might be a Cylon.
Nice reference.
Yeah. And Isabella, a sexy elfish lady, is there. And she can teach your thiefy thieves how to be a duelist, which gives them combat bonuses for thieves. But you
She's
have
like a pirate lady, right? Is she a pirate?
Yeah. And she's someone who is important in Dragon Age 2.
Ooh, your favorite.
I love that. And she's really fun in that game. Although she does sort of screw up the world, but... It
happens.
Yeah.
Women.
So Isabella, she wants to play a card game with you, and the card game she plays is actually a test of your thiefy skills. Although my character's not a thief, she's an archer, so she has good dexterity, so I was able to catch her cheating, and that's what she needs to know that she can teach me how to be a duelist, except she can't because I'm not a thief.
Ah, yeah.
I couldn't figure out what was going on.
Is being a thief just this like a rogue the smartest option for character class in this game?
No mages.
Because it seems like thief is the rogue is the only one that I have to switch to do shit in the world.
But mage is
me
so
too.
overpowered combat-wise that, if you want to get through the game and steamroll it, mage as a main character is usually the best.
That's what I'm...
Yeah, but mages are also totally oppressed, you know?
So are elves.
True.
So yeah, she's a lot of fun. Oh, and your introduction to Isabella is it's not a cutscene, but she's just murdering people as you're walking around.
Mm-hmm. She's not having it.
Nope. So then there's...
What about these mercenaries that were causing trouble? Did you deal with them?
I did. I intimidated them because I've maxed out that.
Yeah, I didn't know how to, fight them for real without killing them.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I could have unequipped my sword or something, but that seemed like a lot of trouble. So, better to just use your intimidation skill.
Mm-hmm. Jim, how did you deal with these folks?
I also intimidated them. I like intimidating in this game because people will go from, yeah, we're going to fight you. And then you click a button and they're like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah. Just like real life.
Yes, exactly.
Well, if you're
It's pretty good.
Jim height, if you're John height, you try intimidating people and they'll just laugh and then push you back and kick sand in your face.
Oh, do they put their hand on your head and then you're swinging your arms trying to get at them? And you can't do it.
Yeah, it's very sad. So also in the main market district of Denerim, I found a poster for a fun group called Friends of the Grey Wardens, and I'm a Grey Warden, so I would love to go to my fan club, and they are meeting in the back room of the Pearl.
Yeah, that seems legitimate.
And the poster mentions the password, which I give, and they're like, "Oh, come on in. We have to talk immediately." And what they want to talk about is maybe placing their swords inside my tum-tum.
Oh,
no.
So the Grey Warden's Besties Club, it was a trap. And
That's a bummer.
Oh, no. Set by whom?
set by this Kunari mercenary and this elf mercenary lady and this guy. And I normally get...
They play to your vanity, John.
Yep. I tried to normally get names of all these characters, but I didn't this time. But they die right away, so... Yeah, it wasn't a big deal.
I ran into a guy in the market who wanted to fight me. He was like, you're freaking Grey Warden. You betrayed the Tyr Loghain and you killed the king and all of this shit. And I was just like, calm down, bro. You don't even know what's happened. And he's like, how dare you? How dare you? And then I used my persuade skill and was like, come on. You don't know what happened. You're going to fight me and I'm totally innocent. And he was like, fine, I won't fight you. But if I find out you're not innocent, brother, I'm coming back to fight you.
I killed that man.
Oh no.
Cut to Vanessa.
In this,
My interaction was more
innocent.
like this guy being like, hey, you're a Grey Warden, fuck you. And me being like, oh yeah? Well, fuck you too. And then I zapped him with my lightning fingers.
I have a question, guys. I often find myself in this because I tend to just kind of rush through areas of the game, just running around like talking at stuff and clicking on stuff, and sometimes I find myself running through dungeons with no clear idea of why I'm there or what I'm looking for. Do you guys? Does that happen to you guys too?
I mean, that happens to
No.
me in every game I play,
Yeah,
particularly
in-
games
no.
for this show.
Yeah, it happened to me in Denerim too, where I was just running around fighting people, and I ended up running through this dungeon that was full of mages and Kunari mercenaries.
That's the blood mage hideout.
Yes, and I was like, what am I doing here? And why do I feel compelled to murder all of these people?
Well, did you? I take it you went through the mages collective quest bag and then just hit accept on all the quests.
I think I did because I was just rolling through here, and it got hard. It's a difficult dungeon.
Yeah, and
I'm
it's
playing on easy.
It's a little too long. That house
It's
goes
way long.
up and who designed this house? You have to go up and down and up
I
and
know
down.
what is going on in this house.
And then there's rooms full of oil, and you can get set on fire by the mages.
Yeah, and they're like, and they're always like casting their fireballs on you,
Yeah.
and it's chaotic.
But
Sounds like a real Winchester mystery house.
but Matthew and John's plan of combining room clearing magic always works here.
Yep. Room clearing magic. I like starting off with a fireball just to make sure that everybody gets knocked on their ass, which gives me time to drop a fucking firestorm in the middle of the room.
That's a very good plan. So there's the Mages Collective gift bag full of quests. There's this like I guess some kind of mercenary company that has a gift bag full of quests, and then there's the Chantry board full of quests. So really, you can get, I think, 30 quests or something dumb here, and I think I did most of them.
I have
I
a
did too,
question.
Quests.
A question.
Ooh, hey.
While you were at the Pearl, did you partake of the services offered therein?
I didn't, because it was really weird how they lined up the women. And it made me uncomfortable, and I was like, I don't want any part of this.
Oh. How about you, John?
Not this time. Last time I just kept going back to the dwarf and enjoying their comments about exploring his deep roads.
Oh, no.
But I figure my elf lady's just not super into that. Although I think you can get some funny stuff if you do like Dealer's Choice or Surprise Me or whatever.
Yeah, I like that you can choose a man, a woman, or surprise me. And surprise me often comes with interesting combinations, like 2 dwarves and a canary or something like that.
I don't know if I should play this
2
character.
dwarves and a canary.
2 dwarves, 1 canary.
Oh boy. So there's also fighting gangs in the back alleys and marking the doors of blood mages. And there's also one quest where like you're supposed to give women letters that their husbands are dead, and they always react the same way. They all say, "Oh, I don't believe it," and just run off.
Yep.
It's not a great quest.
No. Sorry, ladies.
And there's some stuff about like it adds just extra locations on the map that are just like the same random encounter location, except you might have to do a little fight and then find a dead body or something.
And there's also, we've been walking around it, but maybe it's time to talk about the reason we came to Denerim in the first place.
Yeah.
Alistair's sister.
Yeah, Alistair's sister.
Oh.
Alistair has a sister, and she a bee.
He was really looking forward to this reunion with his only living biological relative, as far as he knows. And he asked me to go in with him to meet her, and I did. And yeah, she's not great.
Yeah, she just like was really rude and demanded money. And then I gave her a bunch of money, and she still was a fucking asshole.
Yeah, well, she is like a washerwoman, and from her perspective, her life kind of fell apart because her mother got pregnant with Alistair, who's like this king's son, and then her mother got banished or killed or something, and the baby got to live in luxury, and she had to survive all on her own. So I guess there's a reason for her bitterness, but Alistair clearly is like excited for this reunion, and she's just like, what good does it do me to have you here?
Yeah.
Fuck you.
She ain't care about no brother.
No, but then she's like, you have nieces and nephews. You have 5 nieces and nephews. We're all hungry and starving. So if you're like so great, this like Prince Warden, how about you like put us into the lifestyle that we deserve? And he asks permission. He's like, can I give her 15 gold? And I'm like, yes, you may. And he does. And then she's like, fuck this 15 gold. That's all you have? Fuck you. And so then he promises to go tell people about her, I guess, or talk to the nobility and get her a better position somehow.
This is all something that he should have a pretty easy time accomplishing if he becomes king, but she was such a jerk to me that I didn't get to the point where he promised her to do that. I was like, he basically said like, nah, fuck off.
Yeah.
We just left. Like, what are you supposed to do? Like, I gave her a ton of money and that wasn't enough. He's just like a soldier. Like, it's cool that his dad's the king, I guess, but right now he's literally a homeless he's a murder hobo. Like every fucking D&D character.
And as you leave, you have the opportunity through your dialogue choices to sort of change his personality.
What?
Did you know that?
What?
It's
do you do
called hardening Alistair, which I've done several times, but this is a little bit different. So I guess you basically, like, if you say to him, like, forget her, everyone's out for themselves, now you know what the world is really like, he'll get a lot more serious in his dialogue and more, I guess, mature, you could say, or jaded, depending on the way you want to look at it. But I did not harden him. I was just like, look, I know it didn't go well, but you have people who really care about you. And he's like, I do. And I'm like, yeah, we're like a serious couple, bro. And he's like, oh, yeah, I forgot. So then we just went on our merry way. And then when we went back to camp, he proposed, sort of.
What?
It was so romantic.
Oh, my God.
I went to talk to him, and he was like, guess what? And I was like, what? And he was like,
chicken butt.
You were the first person I ever spent the night with. And if I have my way, you'll be the last.
Bum, bum,
and I was like,
and then he's
whoa.
gonna murder you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or he's just never going to sleep with anyone again. Like,
Whoa.
first time, last time.
Oh.
Right.
I was just like, yeah, okay, that's fine with me. And he's like, super cool. Yay.
Were you like,
So
yeah, me too.
you have the opportunity to be like, I don't feel the same way.
So this is very important, Vanessa. When he asked you to marry him, did he say your name, Vanessa? Like, I just need to know that he didn't do that.
Look, I mean, the truth is, he didn't use the word marriage, but I feel like it was strongly implied when he said that he didn't want to sleep with anyone else.
Okay, but he wasn't
Right?
talking to you, the player, right? He was talking to your character.
Well,
John, this is a role-playing
Okay.
game. They're one and the same.
that's right.
Okay.
I'm role playing, and you know, when I switch to like the character with my mouse, I mean that's something I do. My in-game character cannot like switch between party members. That is like a god move. And when I do it, he says, "Yes, my love." So clearly, he loves me. He loves me. Because I am the player, and I'm the one making these switches, and we know that it's not the protagonist who's doing it, because when you click on the protagonist is like, get off my back. And they're not talking to themselves, they're talking to you, the player. So, yeah, he loves me, John.
Okay.
He's my little
So-
pixel baby, I'm his little player girl.
So there's
I
that
am
website you
gonna
can go to where you can marry
baby,
video game
I will
characters,
put
like
him in. What?
someone's married Sonic.
What are you talking
There's
about?
a website you could go to where you can marry video game characters. So you might want
Are you talking about like the Snape wives?
the what?
You know, the Snape wives.
I don't know what that is.
Those women on the internet who say that they're married to Severus Snape, like on the astral plane.
Oh, probably.
Is it like that?
I think it's a lot like that, yes. Anyway, so when I was wandering around Denerim, Sergeant Cylon comes back, and you get into this like sharks versus jets fight against the bad guards from the Pearl.
I
You
like
dance?
Yeah. I sword danced with them and then put my swords in their tum-tums.
Have I said before how much I want a West Side Story style dancing fighting game?
No.
I mean, Yakuza comes close in some ways, but it would be amazing. Think about it.
There is
You're like,
a game called, I think it's called Rhapsody, and it came out maybe on PSP and PS1, and it is a musical JRPG.
I remember that
I
game.
remember that too, but I didn't play
Yeah,
it.
I never. My brother
liked
has
it.
it, but I never played it.
It's a fun game.
It sounds like something we should play next time on Square Roots.
I think that's one where it's tricky to find copies of it, but we'll get back to that later.
Yeah. So what's next?
Brother Jen the TV.
Yeah, we've been talking about Denerim for like a
Yeah.
half hour. Let's get through this.
Yeah.
Brother
So
Jenna
we
TV's
were-
house.
Yeah, we're told that in order to wake up the Arl, we have to get this urn of Andraste that has her ashes in it that will wake him up via a special concoction. And that there was a man in Denerim who was hot on the trail of this urn, and his name was Brother Genetivi, and we should go to his house to talk to him.
Yeah, we go there, but he's not home.
No, but his little assistant boy, Waylon is.
Waylon Smithers?
Yes.
Okay.
Waylon Smithers.
And he
He's saying boo urn.
when,
Get it?
when you start talking to him, he seems a little shifty and doesn't want you looking into this, but you ask like 3 times, and then he's suddenly really excited that you go to this inn by the shore of Lake Galahad, the spoiled princess.
Yep.
And he really wants you to go there,
Mm-hmm.
which is interesting.
So what did you guys do? Did you just go there, or did you keep talking to this fella?
Oh, I kept talking to him.
Me
well,
too.
I didn't talk to him anymore, but I tried to get into the room in the back, and he's like, "Stay out of there!" And like his whole demeanor changed, and it's like, "What's going on here, Waylon?"
Yeah, I talked to him some more, and there were some parts of his story that just didn't make sense, and I kept pushing, and he'd say something like, "No, we aren't doing anything. I mean, I'm not doing anything," and then he says that like Genevieve told him some stuff, but then you're like, you just said that you didn't talk to him, and he's like, I mean, I read his notes and sawed it all. And drops his facade.
Oh no!
Did you guys kill him? Do you have to kill him? I killed him.
Yeah, he started attacking me.
Yeah, he started attacking me too, and I decapitated him. Because that's what you do.
Yeah, I sliced
And
him
what
up.
do you
What
find?
good?
What do you find in the back room? Like you find
Real Waylon.
Yeah, you find a body
you find real Waylon.
after you kill this guy. He like tried to stop me from going into that room, and I was like, well, I guess I have to kill you now.
And there's some notes about Brother Jen and TV investigating out in a little village in the Frostback Mountains called Haven.
Yes. I discovered all this, but despite that, I still went to the inn
Me too.
at Lake Galahad.
And I got a little confused because I forgot about the tip about going to Haven. So
Oh.
so you talk to the bartender there, and he's scared, Vanessa.
Yeah, he's very scared, and he's like, I don't want to trick you or hurt you, but these people are watching, and there are like 3 people in the tavern called like Shady Patron or something.
Yeah, it's not those guys.
And,
They have
yeah,
nothing
it's
to do
not.
with
I know, but he's like, yeah, just get out of here and don't say anything. But yeah, they're making me do this. They say they'll hurt my family if I don't. It's real bad. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'm getting away scot-free then. But I wasn't. I went outside, and there were many killies.
Now, there was a Templar who was praying for the souls of everyone who
Yes,
died,
I saw him.
and he joins you in this fight, which is pretty
Yeah.
neat.
But there's also a Mages Collective guy who doesn't, I don't
Yeah, he
think.
stays out of it.
Yeah. It's like an extra mage would have been really helpful. But yeah, I just kill him, and then I'm like, okay, I guess I'll go to Haven now. I don't know if like you hadn't found out about Haven before, if there would have been clues on them, or if you would have to go back and talk to fake Waylon and be
Yeah,
like,
I bet that's what happens, but I already murdered him. But I just forgot there
Yeah.
was this. So I had to like Google what to do next because I went back and talked to the bartender. Tried talking to the Templar, and no one mentioned anything about being attacked. So yeah, you have to look for clues.
yes. Well, there's a new place on the map to go to, so you just go there.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big clue.
Yeah, it's a good clue.
So let's go to Haven.
Yeah, that sounds pleasant.
Haven,
This
good
place
time.
is creepy as all get out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this place is like Fallout level creepy.
Yeah.
You got a jerk guard who doesn't want to let you in, except that he's like, fine, go in, talk to people, do whatever you want, but don't come in here and leave.
This seems like if you've read a Stephen King novel where there's a creepy community, this is how people in creepy Stephen King communities act.
Yeah,
There's
Where there's creepy kids and asshole adults, and it's obvious there's a big old secret.
yeah.
the creepy kid gave me like I talked to him a little bit. At first he didn't want to talk to me, and I talked to him again, and I persuaded him to be nice, that we were friends, and he gave me a finger bone, like back at the dwarf place. But this doesn't lead to anything later, so that's
I'm
John,
not
you've
sure.
never received a finger bone from your kid friends?
The finger bone is how you get into the cartel, the mob's secret door.
in the
Yeah, but that kid
in the
can't have
dwarf
one
world,
of those.
Yeah.
Dwarf world.
in the dwarf. I don't know what this extra finger bone
I
is
don't
for.
think that he gave it to me,
Oh,
but he showed it
oh,
to me.
maybe he just showed it. Yeah,
Maybe you can take it to that lady who's looking for holy artifacts. It could be one of those. I don't know.
I took that lady who's looking for holy artifacts. I found like an Andraste scroll that had supposedly like some story about Andraste,
ooh.
or that maybe her husband wrote, and I took that to her, and she's like, "Oh, thank you," and she paid me some money. I think.
I gotta go back. I have tons of artifacts I can sell her.
Yeah, I gave her the Andraste one, and she was pretty stoked about
So
it.
the first time I played through this game, I never took money from anyone. I was always like, no, doing good is really its own reward. But this time, like, yeah, money, please. Would I have some money?
These people, they're like, yeah, you can go and trade for goods, but like, don't do anything else. So the first thing I did was just wander into the first random house I found. And there's some stuff in there.
You can steal it.
And you can steal it. And then there's also a altar covered in blood.
Oh.
And I went and looked at that, and Alistair's like, maybe it's for food preparation? And
Oh, my sweet, simple love.
yeah, and then
Sure
Morgan
it is,
was
baby.
like, don't be naive, you idiot. This is human blood. And my character's like, how do you know that? And she's just like, I just know it, okay? Like, and I also know no one can lose that much blood and still be okay. Anyway, I then left this house, and everybody tried to kill me.
Yeah, the town turns on you real quick.
Did you guys also go into this house, or did you do something else?
I don't remember at what point. I think I maybe killed the store owner, and that's when the town turned. Maybe it was the house, though. I don't remember.
If you go to the store, it looks pretty normal in front, and then if you go into the back, there's like a dead body back there.
That's right. Yeah, the actual store owner.
This dumb town.
Well, they have their own thing going on, and they don't like visitors. So we fight our way up the hill to their chapel, where they have a holy father, which is shocking because in this world only women can become holy mothers. You know, it's a matriarchal religion.
Is it? I didn't know
Sure.
that.
It is. And we just straight up kill them all. I sort of tried to talk to the guy. I was like, hey, let's not be hasty. And he's like, let's be hasty. And they all attack. So we kill him, and then there's like a stone wall that you can click on. Did you guys have trouble finding this?
No, but I'm like jamming on tab all the time, so all the interactive items in a room flash at me.
Mm-hmm. So we go back through this room, and there is Brother Giovanni.
Hey, and he's not dead.
No, he's fine, mostly.
He's got an injured
He
foot.
got a bum leg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like how he's like, they're like, we're going to have to cut his foot off. And they're like, all right, we'll do it later. And then he just walks around.
Yeah, I know.
I talked to Wynne, and she's like, "Oh, you could just wrap it with some herbs, and he'll need some rest." But I get him at least okay.
Yeah, I had the
So,
option
like-
to talk to like Wynne or to Morgan and get their medical advice, and I chose Wynne.
Oh, really?
That sounds pretty new age from Wynne. She's probably just going to dump some essential oils on it while his foot gets infected and falls off.
So,
got
Vanessa,
some-
do you normally have Wynne and Morgan in your party?
Yes, I
Interesting.
usually have Alistair, Wynne, and Morgan.
Because
If
I don't
have a
use
hard-
Wynne, so my experience, it was Morgan that I talked to, and she said that we were going to have to cut the foot off.
See, Wynne is now basically the Wynne Button, because she's got a spell that heals injuries, gets rid of evil statuses, and heals people over time. She's got like the maxed out healing function, so she's gonna always be in my party, and that's why later on I can't murder her, but we'll talk about that in a bit.
I mean, you can give Morgan the same powers.
I can, but she doesn't have, like, I'd have to level up Morgan or something.
Yeah, and Wynne's super nice.
Mm-hmm.
Win a ghost!
Mean lady. Oh. That's
forgot,
right.
didn't you?
Yeah.
Is the ghost that you knew was a ghost that originally pretended not to be a ghost, but you forgot was a ghost scarier?
Yeah, now I'm spooked again.
I've been trying to. I've never got that cutscene you had with Wynne, so I still don't know she's a ghost. And I've like maxed out my like of her. We're friends.
Just
you
talk to her more.
Talk
and
to them in
do more
camp and give
things,
them.
I
Do you
don't
give
know.
them gifts?
Yeah, I've maxed out my friendship with like everybody.
What I'm saying, like, but did you give them? Are you giving them gifts, or did you give them the one gift that maxes out the friendship?
I gave them the one gift that maxes out the friendship.
Maybe you should try giving them gifts.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, give them more,
Yeah,
and
that
then
just
triggers-
be consistent.
That triggers cutscenes as well.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and just talk to them about their lives.
But they always say that. I think it's the gift thing, because I've like run through all their conversations. Oh, maybe actually, I probably haven't with Wynne, so I should probably.
Why don't you
Yeah.
try actually being their friend, John?
Yeah,
So-
stop
Yeah.
trying to
About
win them
how
over
they
like
feel
they're
about
fucking
stuff.
programmed computer game characters.
Everyone talks about having sex with Wynne all the time. Like Ogren talks
What are
about
you
having
talking
sex
about?
with Wynne. Wynne talks about having sex with Zevran. Everyone's just like real horny for Wynne.
Well, she has a great body.
She
I don't
does.
have any horny conversations with anybody in my party ever.
Like just when I'm walking around, like it seems like Wynne combined with any man, they'll talk about how hot she is. Except for the golem, who will talk about how old she is all the time.
Oh. I had a party conversation triggered where Wynne was like smiling, and Alistair's like, "What are you smiling about?" And she was like, "I saw you checking her out." And he was like, "What do you mean?" And she was like, "Our leader, I saw her you looking." And he's like, I might have glanced in the direction of her hindquarters, but I wasn't staring." And Wynne was like, "Mm-hmm."
She's the best party member for random stuff, because she's just really funny and nice.
Yeah.
There's like hours of dialogue of her random stuff.
Mm-hmm. So, with Brother Gen of TV, you can... I keep, using my funny thing of calling him Gen of TV and
Genitally.
expecting you guys to be like, hey, that's a funny bit, but it's clearly not landing, so you know what? I'm just going to drop it.
Giovanni Ribisi wants to...
That's
See,
way better.
Vanessa, that's how you do a bit! No, I'm kidding.
It is a better bit. You gotta admit, Vanessa.
All right.
We've been trying
So,
Brother Gen of TV
we can-
bits since the second episode, and that's the first one that landed, is Brother Giovanni Ribisi.
So we
I think that speaks to the quality of the previous bit. That's the best one.
There's no stronger bit than thing that sounds slightly like other thing.
We all know that's a fact.
So we can either send him home to get some rest or take him to the temple. What did you guys do?
Took him with, although he
Took
only
him
walks
with.
10 feet in.
Maybe
I
he'll
took
get
him with
lucky
as
and his
well.
foot will get bitten off by a dragon and save us all the trouble of cutting it off.
What dragon? What are you talking about? What?
The drakes? There's a bunch of drakes in this cave.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Drake is hashtag problematic.
They're like, grr, grr, we don't pay child support. Grr, grr.
Grr, we have friendships with 14-year-olds.
Grr, we're on Degrassi.
Whatever it takes, I'm gonna Drake it.
Yeah, anyway, so famous Canadian rapper Drake is in this cave, and I am hoping that he will bite off Brother Giovanni Ribisi's foot.
Well, first you have to go through the church, which is full of cultists, and some ash demons that are a little tricky. At least for me, that was some of the harder fights.
Those demons are pretty easy for me.
You do have to
For me too.
For me too.
Yeah, John, I'm choosing to play the game in my own way. Are you going to shame me because I'm not playing it on the highest difficulty?
Of course not, best friend Matthew.
Are you gonna call him a fake gamer boy?
No, I never would.
What about me? Are you gonna call me a cheating noob?
No.
John, when did you become such a gatekeeping lunatic?
Oh.
Anyway, so... Caves?
Gatekeeping lunatic is a pretty good phrase. I like that.
Name of the episode.
There are some locked doors in these ruins that you have to find the keys to.
Mm-hmm. I did that.
Which isn't hard. You don't really have to leave this central area to find all of the keys.
Yeah, it's just a little back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Rooms full of mages.
Hallway to hallway.
Yeah, the mages are
Lots of
annoying.
traps.
Now that I'm running into mages regularly, and they don't kill me, but they annoy me. And I always have to stop and be like, who the fuck just hit me with a frost spell? And then I have to hunt them down on the map and fucking destroy them.
For me, it's the second they see me, they throw a fireball at the party. So I just have to always target them and kill them first.
Yeah, it was originally,
or maybe
I think...
even turn Leliana invisible and have her backstab them.
Ooh.
I don't know. I do everything with my mage, my main character. She just walks into a room and, like, the other people are there as support only for my insane magic skills. It's so fucking fun.
I call on the power of Andraste.
You still haven't put that video up of you summoning Andraste onto the Facebook group.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Sorry, listeners.
You'll do it.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. So at the end of the caves is Colgrim. He's very friendly and full of very good ideas.
He's not very friendly initially.
Oh.
He's not friendly or full of good ideas at any point. And
He has an idea.
I see that John strung him along. I pretty much just said, fuck you, and killed him.
What is his idea?
Well, he is part of the, cult of Andraste here. Oh, we didn't really talk about, so when you get to Haven at the church is, oh, actually, maybe you did talk about this and my phone was dead. Do you talk about...
So Andraste is kind of like Chantry Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you talk about the weird revered father?
Yes.
Okay, sorry, I missed that because my phone was
That's okay.
dead.
So this guy is another sort of patriarchal religious figure, and he believes that Andraste has returned.
Oh, well, that's handy because she can help us fight the blight.
Mm-hmm. But she's not quite like she used to be.
Oh, what's different?
She got more tooth now.
Okay, well...
She fly
more scale
on wing,
Mhm.
Well, that's powerful.
Mhm.
breathe fire,
More tail.
What?
Mhm.
long neck.
Hot.
Claws.
Sharp claws. She a dragon.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
This is a real question. I don't understand so this world is a world in which dragons are real.
yeah.
Yes.
But
yes.
why
It's in the title.
is the archdemon also a dragon?
Budget constraints?
No, they explain this. They say that dragons are sort of old gods, and when a blight happens, the old gods are infected with taint, and then they become the archdemon.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very Dark Souls. Well, I guess maybe Dark Souls stole it from Dragon Age.
Probably.
Okay, I mean that makes sense. That makes sense. Just
Yeah.
one more thing.
So, yeah.
One more thing.
Is
these
the
guys have-
archdemon its own conscious being?
It definitely, you can talk to the archdemon later. Spoiler.
Are dragons conscious beings, or
Whoa,
are they
spoiler
just
alert.
are they big animals?
They animal.
Wait, but they're not. They don't have like an agenda other than just being an animal.
Well,
I don't think
when
so.
They
you
don't
meet
think-
Andraste here, he talks to her, and he's like, "Hey, you got some new supporters. She's gonna go get your ashes and then mix your blood with it." And then the dragon's like, "Cool," and just flies off.
But the dragon doesn't say cool.
No.
The dragon has just been fed a whole bunch of cows. There are cows all over in these caves that are like gnawed apart. So they essentially have just like started feeding this wild animal, and then they were like, "Hey, this must be Andraste."
Yeah. Well,
That makes this extra stupid. It's like you found a bear and you started
Yeah.
feeding the bear, and then you were like, "That
It's
bear
Jesus."
must be Jesus."
Yeah.
Well, these followers have been like locked away for centuries, and like the Guardian tells you why they're worshiping the dragon. He just thinks that they basically saw this powerful creature and were so longing for Andraste to return, they assumed this was Andraste.
Mm-hmm. But
oh.
in the general mythology, there's no idea that Andraste will ever come back.
No.
So unlike Jesus, most of her followers don't think that she is returning.
And when you talk to the Guardian, who guards the gauntlet, he says that the wizard needs food badly, and then he says that Andraste's dead and gone. She's not coming back.
Yeah. Can we real talk about Andraste here for a moment?
Yeah, you
Sure.
find out
Wait.
a lot about her.
Damn it! I never got an answer to my question.
Oh, what was your question again?
So, I'm sorry. So, you said that the taint infects the dragons, and then they become the archdemon. So, is the archdemon just the taint?
It's a taint-infected old god.
Well, the old gods are just dragons, right? Like they're just big animals.
Seems like.
But the archdemon is like commanding armies, so it must be intelligent.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, if the dragon is just an animal, but now a dragon has been infected by the taint and is the archdemon, is it an animal that has been granted like a new consciousness
By the taint, right?
by the taint?
Yeah, I think it's
And what
more
is the
like a
taint?
venom kind of situation.
Oh.
ever heard of that venom?
Matthew, read your fucking codex, man. You ever crack open that codex and read
No.
Fuck
it?
no.
The answers are probably in there.
Mm,
I haven't read it either, by the way.
But you meet another conscious dragon later.
Yes, that's true.
Who, well, at least I did in a side quest here, sort of. Actually, I didn't get her to transform into a dragon because we'll talk about it.
Yes.
So,
No, Andraste real talk.
Andraste Real Talk.
Oh, yes.
Andraste was just a mage, right? Like, all this maker business, the Tevinter Imperium says she was just a powerful mage, and if you read about her life, there's a lot of clues that say she was just a powerful mage. For example number one, she had a stepsister, and when she was alone with her stepsister was killed in some totally mysterious way.
Oh.
And no one knows exactly how, but it traumatized Andraste a whole bunch. And that sounds a lot to me like what happens to mages when they are young and they use their powers and don't really know what's happening, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then she had all of these, like, she would talk to beings that other people couldn't see. And that sounds like talking to the spirits of the fade to me.
Well, she also talks about she's supposed to have been talking with the Maker, right?
Yeah, but I think she was just a mage, John.
But Leliana
You mean she was
also
a
talks
liar?
to the Maker.
Yeah.
Leliana gets exposed as a not really talking to the Maker.
When the Guardian
in this
talks to her?
episode.
Yeah. Well, so do you have more Andraste talk, or?
No, I just want to put it out there that Andraste was just a mage. I mean, she did free people from slavery of the Tevinter Imperium, but I think that her myth has gotten a little out of control.
I think that can happen a lot of times. And
Just like
hey,
Jesus was just a hobo.
anyway.
Cut it.
All your gods are fake.
So you meet the Guardian, who's a Knight Beardo. He's basically the knight from, if you've seen the film Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. He's that guy. And
Yeah.
He's a real gatekeeping lunatic.
Yeah, he really wants to nag people.
And there's a few steps to getting through to see Angela's ashes. And so the first part is that he trash talks each and every one of you.
Yeah. He goes down the line and he's like, fuck you. Fuck you.
So for me,
Also fuck you.
He's like, hey, Elf, so do you feel bad about letting your friend die? And I'm like, yeah, I still feel really bad. It was super my fault. And he's a Darkspawn now. And he's like, well, could you have saved him? And I'm like, yeah, if I pulled him away from that mirror. And he's like, and then all the rest of my party tries to talk me out of this. They're like, oh, it's not your fault. You didn't know it was going to happen. You tried your best. And then what about the rest of you? What kind of trash talk did you get?
The spooky ghost, immortal knight man. What's his name?
The Guardian.
The Guardian. The Guardian. What did he say? He asked me how I felt about what had happened with Jowan, the blood mage who went on to poison the Arl that I am there to save.
Yeah.
That I'm there to get the ashes to save. And I said that I did not feel bad about it because he made his own decision to dabble with blood magic, and I was not responsible. And that was it.
All right. Jim.
Yes, he asked me about some of the people that I left behind in the what's the dwarf area called?
Dust Town.
Dust Town. He asked me about so in the beginning of my origin, I had this friend named Lesky who I ended up murdering when we went back to appoint the king. I ended up murdering him. But he asked, how I felt about leaving him behind and tried to shame me about it.
Did you feel shame?
Yes. And at that point, I put the controller down and I haven't picked it back up again.
Oh. Well,
I'm
for
just
me,
kidding.
he was like, you left your parents to die and ran away. Don't you feel bad? And I was like, no.
First of all, my mom is a battle mom.
My mom is battle mom. My dad was dying anyway. And also, shouldn't any child, if your house is on fire, and those of you who are parents, correct me if I'm wrong. If it's going to be a choice between, you or your kid, you're sending the kid out.
Yep. Jim a
No
little
comment
slow to
from
agree
Jim.
on this one.
So it's like, yeah, no, I'm not going to feel like guilty about that. Like, I'm sad, but like, what other option was there? Just stay there and die with them? That would not have made them happy. And then he went through the line in my party and he shamed Alistair. He shamed him by saying, shouldn't you have like been there to save Duncan? And Alistair's like, yeah. And he shamed Wynne.
Well,
and
hang on.
was like,
What did Jim get shamed by?
he already
He
said.
got shamed
he?
by leaving the
Yeah.
people behind in Dust Town.
Oh, did you go?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry.
it's okay.
Thought there was one left.
Nope. Wynn's big. What was her big thing?
What happened at the tower and all the abominations and
Right,
whatnot.
Yeah.
I had Morrigan and Leliana. And Leliana, the dude was definitely like, you made up the hearing of the Maker to make yourself feel special. And even though the attention you got from it was negative, you continued doing it because it still made you feel special. And you full of shit. And she was like, no!
She says she has doubt. She sometimes doubts it, but I think she thinks it's real.
I think she convinced herself that it was real.
Yeah, me
True.
too.
Well, she
And
sticks to her
he
guns and
has the audacity to try and ask Morrigan something, and he's like, Morrigan, Flemeth, and she's like, nah, I'm gonna stop you there, fam. You better shut the
Yeah.
fuck up. And he's like,
She-
fair enough.
Yeah. She just dismisses him as a spirit. She's like, whatever, you're just a normal spirit. And Droste was just a mage, whatever.
So, Jim, there's a series of challenges. The first one is solving riddles. Are you good at riddles?
No.
Did you have to fight
I'm really bad at
each and
them.
every one of these jerks?
I had to use a fact for this 'cause I'm really bad at riddles. I'm too literal, I think, to be good at them. But there's a lot of people to answer here.
Yep. I got one wrong. The one guy where I thought he was the alienage because he's like, this is a home, but it's not your home. He looks like soulless a bit. He's a bald elf.
Mhm.
Oh yeah,
I couldn't figure out what that one was. I got all the other ones were easy, but that was
You just got them? You just
yeah.
knew?
And they're
I got them all.
are you smart?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I
Didn't
think
you
some
know?
You can just answer, I don't know, right?
I didn't try to do that. I knew all of them.
I got all the other ones.
Oh wow, brag. Cool.
Sorry, but like I'm good at logic. Whatever.
You sound like a real gatekeeping lunatic.
Ugh.
Yeah, I am. I'm a logic game riddle puzzle gatekeeping lunatic.
Mhm.
There was a puzzle coming up that I did use a fact for. Then.
I figured out the dumb bridge puzzle myself, but
Oh my gosh, I would never have been able to do that without a fact.
so the next part is you fight a mirror version of your party, which is always fun.
Oh, is that who they were?
Yeah,
you didn't recognize them?
they have their
Well-
names. Who's Alistair?
They were there and gone pretty quickly, if you know what I mean.
Oh right.
Oh.
Because
So I just saw a bunch of like ghosts running at me, and I was like,
so Andraste's power was extra strong in this temple.
It was extra strong.
Right?
I thought it was the people from the last room who had been telling me riddles.
No, it's a ghost party, and then the next is a dumb bridge puzzle, which I guess counts as a bullshit minigame.
Yeah, let's save it
This
for your corner.
sucks.
So finally, you get to the ashes of Andraste, and everyone in your party's like, wow, I'm so honored to be in their presence. And because I had like Alistair, Wynne, and Morgan, they're all like, or no, Alistair, Wynne, and Leliana, and they're all super pro Andraste ashes.
Yeah. Morgan says that she is moved, but she says it sort of like sarcastically, but I think she was really like in awe.
Yeah.
She's like, I am in awe, truly.
She uses sarcasm as a self-defense mechanism against expressing her true feelings.
Oh.
So I assume everyone did what I did and then took the drops of dragon blood and dripped them into the ashes after taking out a little bit to heal the Arl. And then Leliana's like, "You
Blood?
monster, what did you do?" And Alistair's like, "No!"
I didn't do
And then
that.
Wynne is like, "How could you?" And so Alistair, I convinced before this was a good idea, and I had a long-term plan. And with Leliana, I had the chance to intimidate her and shut her up, but I didn't want to. I wanted to say, no, we'll have a dragon on our side. It'll be super great. And she's like, "No, this ends here." And Wynne's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna kill you." And then the Guardian and Wynne and Leliana come and try to kill me. And I reloaded the game because I need Wynne in my party. I kind of think if you went here with people who don't care, like maybe Zevran and Sten or the Golem Shale and Morrigan, probably you could get away with this without people trying to kill you, and then just like fudge what happened later when they talk to you.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that there are some party members, I think Sten, if I recall, who if he's with you and you don't use the dragon blood, he's like, "You're stupid. You should put the dragon blood in there." Andraste is like heretical. I followed the Qun.
When I got to this dungeon the first time I played, Sten just was like, "Look, are you wasting our time with this crap?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Okay, I'm gone." And he left the game forever.
Oh, goodbye.
So I guess you can make some serious choices here. But I have reloaded, but I kind of want to try going back with a different party and see if I can get a better outcome.
Yeah, I think if you put the blood in without those two in your party, when you go back to camp, I think they will leave.
Oh, well, I need them. I've been having fun doing the bad quests and kind of being evil because y'all are too chicken to do so. Someone has to make the real tough choices here.
Stop being a morality gatekeeper, John.
Gatekeeping lunatic. And yeah, so I've gone with the boring solution because I think that's the only way to keep the characters you like. So when I went out, I guess, did you kill what's his name, Colgrim, before you went in?
Yeah.
I did.
Okay. So I killed him on the way out because he was very betrayed that Andraste didn't show up, even though I was like, "No, I totally did the thing you asked me to do." He was like, "Liar!"
That dragon is out there too, but it just leaves you alone.
Unless you use the horn that Colgrim has, but I wouldn't recommend.
I tried to fight the dragon.
Yeah, you need to be max level.
It killed me very quickly.
Not recommended to try early at this point. Do it right before the end of the game.
Yeah, it killed me fast.
Me too. I tried it just to see because I was like, I'm having an easy time with everything. No. So now you have... Okay, so what happens if you do it the right way, Vanessa?
If you do it the right way, everyone is super stoked. Corgan, or whatever his name is already dead, so he doesn't care. You take your little pinch, and you say some prayers, and then you leave. And you run into...
You have to do the armor thing first, right?
What are you talking about?
Don't you have to take your armor off? And then walk
yeah,
through the
you
fire?
do. We didn't mention that. Yeah. You come to this little altar, and the altar is like, "Let go of your worldly possessions." And so everyone in your party strips naked, and then there's some flames, and you could just walk through the flames unharmed. And then the Guardian shows up, and he's like, "Good job being naked. You've really shown your faith." And everyone is just standing there in their small clothes. Like, the women have essentially a bra and some underwear.
I got like a thong on.
Yeah, mine too. Like, it's skimpy. And then Alistair just has like a loincloth sort of thing. And this ghost is just like all about it. And I don't think that this was actually part of Andraste's trial. I think that this ghost set this up.
He's been there for a long time.
Yeah, he needs something to, stimulate himself through the tediousness.
This is like that movie Compliance. Have you guys seen that?
No.
Where like this guy calls a fast food place and says that one of the employees, it's not a comedy, but he says like one of the employees has been stealing, and he's talking to the manager, and he's like, "You need to make her take her clothes off."
That sounds bad.
It's kind of like that. It's not. I mean, it's not a funny movie.
Yep, I head back out. Brother Genetivi is in the lobby, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And I show him my little pinch of ashes, and he's like, "Oh, I'm not worthy to look at this little pinch of ashes. Oh, boy." He's super excited about it.
He wants to, like, make this into, like, a religious site and have pilgrimages.
Yeah, he wants it to be a tourist attraction, and I'm like, that sounds great to me.
I was like, at first I was like, well, probably don't do that. And then everybody jumped down my throat, and I was like, fine. Jesus Christ, do whatever you ruin your own fucking religion. I don't care.
So it's going to be Andraste land from now on, and we'll probably have like attractions and rides and things like that. It'll be great. And the best ride will be take your clothes off and walk through the fire.
I think the best ride will be who's going to clean up all these bodies. Oh God, there's so many corpses. In 6 months when everybody shows up to start breaking ground on Andrasteville.
Yeah,
I think what Matthew was saying. Obviously, Matthew's talking about the Kierkegaard idea that once you have proof of your faith that this thing is real, and you have Andraste's ashes and they're curing people, it's no longer faith. It's just something that you see and observe, and it kind of ruins the religion, as he said, which is very smart. Best friend Matthew. Yeah, Matt's right. Faith is the cornerstone of all religion.
Fear is the mind killer. I agree. Right. Moving on.
Yeah, so now it's time to go back to Redcliffe to finish what we started so long ago and sprinkle them ashes on the Arl.
Sprinkle.
Is that what you do?
Well, you don't do it. The at least for me, I had the mages there, so they did.
Yeah, a mage did it for me too.
Oh, right.
We sprinkled some ashes on him.
I don't think the graphics would be good enough now to actually get sprinkling working and looking good.
No, I mean, it's not really clear exactly what they do with them. Yeah. I like to think that
a mage who happened to be wearing the exact same clothes as my character stood over the bed and like held his hand out, and it glowed. And I was
that's right.
Like, I was for a moment like, why Solana look like so much like a man in this shot? And then I saw her standing behind this man, and I was like, oh. Well, guess it's unisex.
And
they're just hashtag twinning.
Is fine.
He's great.
He is. He was happy to see me. He was thrilled. He's like, wow, you saved my wife. You saved my son.
You saved this blood
Not
mage.
all of us saved the son.
No. What?
I sacrificed his wife, which he was not that upset about. He's like, thank you for saving my son. It's a shame what happened to my wife.
Now that I'm single.
Oh, well. Let's talk politics.
He's real in my debt. Like, he was really like, you're the best. And I was like, thanks, dude. And then he brought Jowan before me and was like, what do you think we should do with your old friend Jowan here? And I was kind of like, give him back to the circle of fucking mages.
That's what I did, too.
I wanted to be like, execute that piece of shit. But I was like, that's not how...
He's your best friend, Matt.
No, he betrayed me.
Well, that's what best friends do.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh, Vanessa.
Real talk. Only people who are close to you can betray you. Strangers can't betray you. So,
Who hurt you?
Yeah, Vanessa, but
Vanessa?
isn't betrayal therefore necessarily the end of the friendship? So we're not friends because...
Not if you utilize the power of forgiveness.
So he's like, okay, the next step we do, I can't just make everybody mad at Logain, because Logan got a lot of friends, but what we can do is, and we don't have proof of anything right now, but we can go to the Landsmeet and try to convince all the other nobles to be like, screw you, Logan.
Yeah, we'll have a big old meeting.
Landsmeet.
Landsmeet. And this is like I don't know. What is a Landsmeet?
It's where all the landed nobles, i.e. landowners, get together and have a chat, a chit-chat.
Oh.
It's like a parliament.
Like a town hall meeting.
Yeah.
And, yeah, that's pretty much it for this episode of A Square Roots.
That's right. Next time
Next
we will...
time, we're going to be talking about the Landsmeet. And what else? Is that it?
Is there the Revenge of Arl Howl there? Is that the next thing we should do? I think that's...
Yeah.
Okay, so
There's some, like, sort of pre-Landsmeet stuff we can do in Denerim. There's the Landsmeet itself, and then there's Arl Howl.
Okay, that sounds good. And then I think there's one more episode, so we're going to hit 9 episodes. Oh, boy.
It's time for John's bullshit minigame corner.
Bridge puzzle, not make a lot of sense. So there's like 2 sides to this bridge. One will generate 1 chunk, and the other side generates 2 chunks at once, and you have to like try and figure out who stands where while someone crosses the bridge. And this took me like 45 minutes. It was really annoying.
Yeah, I think the idea is that you need 2 buttons activated to make a chunk
and
of
you have
the bridge
3 people,
solid.
like, stand on buttons.
Yeah, and 1 person has to cross the bridge. But I went through and I wrote down which chunks each button illuminated and everything, and I still couldn't make it work without looking at a fact.
I had a guide tell me the IGN guide legitimately just says, just do it randomly and you'll figure it out. And I was like, oh, so this must be easy. And then 20 minutes later, I was like, fuck you, IGN.
Yeah, they lied.
Yeah, it took me a while.
So, but essentially you have to, illuminate steps 1 and 2, move your person to step 2, illuminate step 3, move them to step 3. Illuminate
at least this
step
wasn't
4.
Tower of Hanoi or a sliding tile puzzle.
I would have preferred Tower of Hanoi. Those are pretty easy.
I don't know. I find them Tower of Hanoiing.
Oh, nice. That's it for this episode of Square Roots.
I did some side quests, but we're kind of running out of time here. All I'll say is...
let's save them for next time.
Yeah.
Or last time, even.
Last time?
The last episode. I don't know how much happens.
Well,
Maybe we'll have time to talk about some, DLC in connection
In
with
fact,
that.
now is probably a good time to announce that, as Vanessa just said, our final Dragon Age episode is our final episode as a podcast.
What? No.
What are you talking about?
Oh, is that not what you were saying?
No.
No.
Oh, I thought that's what you were saying. I was just getting on the bandwagon.
No.
Oh.
We're going to keep going.
Well, now we know how quickly you are ready to sign on for, shutting this whole thing down.
I mean, I'm just trying to support you, Vanessa. Jeez.
There's one thing I want to mention before we go into the end.
Some friends just support friends, Vanessa.
So I've been
betraying
jokingly flirty with Zevran, but I haven't been hitting on him. And nothing's happened between us. And Wynne cornered me and talked to me for 10 minutes about how I shouldn't be trying to have sex with Zevran. But the game doesn't even give me an option to say, yeah, nothing's happening.
Weird.
Oh, interesting.
I have to be mind your own business, old woman.
She cornered me about Alistair, too. She was like, look, Alistair, he's super dumb. He's really sweet. He has a big burden. You need to be like a Jedi and not get involved in romance.
Stupid.
Because you guys are going to have to sacrifice themselves and stuff. But she got over it. As our relationship progressed, she talked to me, actually. And she's like, hey, I guess I was wrong.
Aww.
You guys are super serious about each other. You're a good couple.
Matthew, have you had Morrigan fun times?
No, can you? Are there gay relationships in this game?
Oh no, right? No, she's straight. Sorry, I forgot you were a woman. All right.
Leliana is bisexual, right?
I'm like, she seems to be, just judging from how she talks, but I haven't really pushed it on any of them because I'm just not, I never romance anybody in these games for the most part.
Yeah.
Me neither.
I mean, I'm like kind of close with Alistair, but like, I don't care. I don't know.
Romance Alistair.
I don't care enough to romance
It makes
Alistair.
me-
I don't like
it
him that
makes me-
much. He's a dummy.
It makes me feel creepy
I like Morrigan.
to manipulate these computer people into simulating sex.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird.
That's not how it makes me feel.
I would rather be manipulating real people. Never mind.
All right.
No.
Guys, are we ready to move on to the next segment where we talk about what we're squarely
I got
against?
something else to say about Alistair.
Oh, here's Vanessa. Vanessa's Alistair Corner. She's going to talk about Alistair today.
Yeah. I accidentally clicked on him in like the middle of Andraste's temple, and I was like literally in a corner actually.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, "Hey, let's talk about some of the other people in our party." And I was like, okay. And then he went through every single party member and was like, "What do you think about Ogren?" And I was like, "Well, Ogren's a good warrior." And he's like, "Yeah, he's a drunk, but he can swing his axe if you point him in the right direction. What do you think about Leliana? What do you think about Zephyrin? What do you think about What do you think about Stan?" Like, we're just going through every single one. And it was like, first of all, two of them are standing right there. So maybe be a little more like subtle. And then when I told him that I like Morgan, he's like, "I'm just thrilled to hear that. Oh, joy." The only one he didn't ask about was Wynne and Shale.
All right. Squarely against.
That's because Wynne a ghost and Shale also a ghost?
Sort of.
Huh.
Oh, that's true. I hadn't thought about that.
Alistair doesn't like talking about ghosts.
He's just like me.
Squarely against.
Squarely against. I'll go first,
Squarely against.
just in case I leave. I am squarely against. What did we do? You know what? I'm gonna pick the low-hanging fruit. Squarely against that dumb puzzle. It was dumb, and I didn't like it.
Excellent.
I am also squarely against the dumb puzzle. And roundly for my fan theory / Tevinter Imperium theory that Andraste was just a mage.
Ooh. I'm also squarely against the bridge puzzle, but I am roundly for the creepy cult side quests. I like that stuff.
I am squarely against not being able to get the dragon on my side without losing Wynne and Leliana. I feel like I should have been able to fast talk them into saying, no, in the long run, this will be great.
Maybe one dragon is worth two people, but you didn't think so.
She's the Wynne Button.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the Wynne Button. We know what the Wynne Button is. It's called the power of Andraste.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Andraste guide me, Andraste guide
All right,
me.
well, we've got an email.
Andraste protect me, Andraste protect me.
All right, this email reads, Hello. In the Square Roots movie, who would be cast as the host of the classic RPG Podcast? I would also like to include a cameo cast member for Dr. Stephen Stone, if possible, to reach out to him for this question. Thank you. Ryan. Thanks, Ryan.
Stan was unavailable for comment. And again, I actually do have to go now, so I'm just going to jump in and drop my own. Assuming that the movie is about the podcast, I think that probably Jim is going to be the protagonist of this movie. So obviously, I would have to be played by Wayne Knight.
Oh, no.
Wait,
At least get that guy who always plays, who is he? He was in Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and he was in Kimmy Schmidt as like the dumb fat guy who is what's her face becomes the agent of.
You know, I went with my choice because I'm comfortable with it, John. I don't need you now comparing me to other dumb fat guys.
He already chose a dumb fat guy.
All right, guys, I gotta go. Bye, listeners.
Bye.
Bye.
John, how about you? What do you think?
If they do like the movie magic to make someone look shorter, I would go with the wrestler Prince Albert / the A-Train / Matt Bloom, because we look a lot alike facially,
Oh.
even if his body is like super ripped muscle, and I am not.
Does he have a Prince Albert?
He's apparently very heavy into the kink community, and that's why his wrestling stuff always kind of goes there a little bit. So probably, yes, I think he does.
Okay. Jim?
Let's see. Maybe like I'm trying to think of actors with similar features.
Maybe like a
Maybe
Lee
like a-
Pace?
A Lee Pace. I could see that. Maybe like a Jake Gyllenhaal
Wow.
with the beard. I was thinking bearded Gyllenhaal.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
Or I guess that's pretty much it.
I know who I would pick for Vanessa.
Who's that?
Who would you pick?
Darcy, what's her face from The Good Place?
Oh, yeah. You always say I'm the Janet.
Yeah, but who's your choice?
Oh, well, I've thought a lot about this, and I actually came up with, I think, really excellent casting for all of us.
Mhm.
Oh, wow.
I think that the three of you would be played by Chris Evans, Chris Pine, and Chris Hemsworth, and then I would play myself, and it will be a romance.
Oh, wow.
Wait, which Chris is which?
I do
host?
not care. Yeah, doesn't matter.
I still can't get over Wayne Knight for Matthew.
That's terrible.
It kind of is, Matthew needs to maybe work on his self-perception a little bit.
Yeah, you need to. If you're gonna cast yourself in a movie, you need to go
And
for it.
Okay, I didn't want to. What's the not weird way of saying he's way better looking than Wayne Knight?
Well, he's
Just say
much
that.
younger
He's
than Wayne
way-
Knight.
And he's also better looking than Wayne Knight, I think. I don't know. Okay, maybe this is weird. Let's move
Matthew is too hot to be played by Wayne Knight.
I'll agree with that statement. Yes.
I don't want to harass Matthew, so I will make no comment about that.
Okay.
Oh, that was a good question. Good email. Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Ryan.
Now is a portion of the show where we read out our patrons as part of our as part of one of our bonus tiers. We read the names of all of our patrons at the end of the episode in order to share a little bit of our fame with these lowly listeners.
Wow.
My computer is being a little chunky, so I don't actually have the list up, but with your permission, I will assist you both in reading the names by adding color commentary.
Okay. And
Okay.
also, once again,
I
our
w-
Patreon, $3 for all the extra bonus episodes and $5 for voting rights. And we should also mention which game got voted for next game.
That's right. Drum roll.
After tallying up all the votes on our Patreon poll, we have decided that we are going to play Earthbound as our next game.
Yay! Starring me, Vanessa.
Oh, that's not the first time we're gonna hear.
I
that
really
joke.
wanted to play Xenogears. I'm very disappointed in doing Earthbound.
Oh, I wanted to play Fallout 3, but it was inevitable that we would play Earthbound eventually because it is a classic RPG.
It's true.
I'm glad we're playing Earthbound. I think it's fun.
Yeah, it's all right. It's just really hard. Like, really hard. At least,
Well, I'm going to use the power of Andraste when I play.
for
so.
me, I think I'm a lot better at RPGs since I've been doing this podcast, so maybe I won't find it as hard this time.
Yeah,
I hope so.
Yeah.
maybe you'll discover something about yourself that you didn't know before.
Oh.
Like you can do it.
Learning all sorts of things about my body. You didn't like that bit?
It made me feel creeped.
Oh.
and now I'm creeped.
All right, let's do Patreons.
Yeah.
Okay, I will start. Sam Harrison,
Yeah.
stop saying everybody's name,
No.
is currently feuding with
Oh.
Andy Best,
Whoa.
George Armbruster,
Mm-hmm.
Brody Toy,
wow.
Nice.
Jonathan Ellsworth,
Yeah.
Andrew Random Letters,
Random letters.
Ward Childress,
Color
Zachary
commentary.
Davis,
Hey,
Mothmas Mandalorian Marmalade,
it's Stan.
Makes Maz Money,
No, it's Stan.
Square Root's long lost identical septuplet,
Oh.
David Green, Chris Penyak,
Penyak.
Enchantment, Brian Stone, Miguel Torres, Am I a Lobster,
Are
Bree
you?
Girth, Tracy Tanoff, Florian Jonas Kramer, Randy Pierce, Devin Sloan, Jared Collins, Label Sack, James Hostetler, Stu Skeel, PJ Enns, Ashley T, Crystal Thamrin, Jonathan Lee, Xavier Krieger, Wonderswan, Julia Zanella.
Nice.
See, I was going to thank Aaron Bachman, David Shook, Matt Jorgensen, Joseph A. Rogers, Where is My Color Commentary, Sammy Mitchell, Kyle, James Platt, Benjamin Avner,
Color.
Ryan Miller,
Commentary.
Tyler Petty, Bad Dragon
Red.
Dildo Sponsorship Program,
Blue.
Ryan Pitt, Blobulous
Green.
Bubbling Blaring Bitching Bonobo, Robert
Purple.
T, Eric Garby,
Cream.
Vanessa's mom,
Magenta.
Nathan Poirot, Julian Titus,
Eggshell.
Vanessa's mom, Robert M. Pullum, Owen Marble, Justin
Maroon.
Benoit, Ross Hartley, Brady A. Berman, G. Bailey,
Orange.
Kiva Moser, T. Bumpkins, Huxley Iguana, Cyril the Wolf, Patrick Woves Bears, Megan Sullivan, Justin Ham, Resty Kamada, Jake Dickerson, Go Cry Wolf, Bobby Midkiff, Gregory Sean Wells, Race Jenkins, Cameron Showy,
Lavender.
and Andrew Granieri.
Thank you, patrons. If you would like to become a patron, you can check out our Patreon at patreon.com/squarerootspodcast. All right, I think that'll do it for this episode of Square Roots. If you would like to send us an email that we'll read on air, you can email us at squarerootspodcast@gmail.com. Come see us at our Facebook group where we do the brunt of our interactions with our fans. That is the Square Roots podcast group for smart, cool, very attractive people, or you can tweet at us. We are at Square Roots Pod. Thanks to Edward Alenko for his cover of Leliana's song. You can find him on YouTube or at facebook.com/edwardmusic. Also, links to these and his SoundCloud in the show notes.
Rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes or wherever you listen to podcasts. Just do it. Tell your friends. Thank you.
All right, everybody, that's it for this episode of Square Roots. I am Jim Banks.
I am John Brandon.
I'm Matthew Van Zandt.
Ooh.
And I'm Vanessa.
Bye.
Just as a mage.
And draw stays a me.
mahalan